but this is the complete warp that I've wound on the back beam. You know, I've kind of got videos of showing me people how, you know, I wind this on. Each twist, one complete rotation is a yard, and I did 20, so it's 20 yards. And there are 12 of these threads per inch. And I'm not for sure exactly how wide this is, but I think it's about 44 or 45 inches wide. And instead of just using a black warp or the same kind of yarn, I'm using like thick yarns. I'm using very thin yarn. I'm using cotton. I'm using silk. I'm using wool. And there's actually even a little bit of man-made fiber in here. And if you know about weaving, they suggest that you use the same kind of yarn for the same warp, but I don't do that. You know, I mix textures, I mix elasticity of the yarn, so that can cause problems, but I've been weaving for so long that it doesn't, I overcome those problems, and it's okay. But yes, what I have to do now is thread each one of these threads through these 4 harnesses. And I haven't made the pattern up yet how the sequence is going to go, but once I do make that sequence up, then I have to follow that sequence exactly, or once I start weaving, there will be a threading mistake. And if there's a threading mistake, I have to undo a lot of the work that I did and rethread it. So threading the loom takes a lot of concentration, and you just can't get away from it. And I think a lot of reasons why weaving isn't so popular, especially, I mean, doing it from scratch, is that putting the warp on is probably one of the most boring and tedious parts of the weaving there is. I mean, if this was all threaded up, all you have to do is sit down and start weaving. Well, that's the fun part. But, you know, winding all this on the back beam and then threading it through these heddles, which happen to be 4 here, and I've just talked about it before, then after threading it through the heddles, I've got to thread it through this reed, and everything has to be lined up. All the threads have to be in a certain order. They have to follow a certain pattern, and if not, it won't look right, or it'll be a threading mistake. So I'm not looking forward to doing this. That's a lot of just setting and threading.